affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. I am Edmondo Pilo. So I'm happy to be here again to look at history, politics, and power. The theme for this class is When Democracy Bleeds. When democracy bleeds. Is Nigeria's democracy bleeding? Is the political class pushing the polity to a breaking point? Has the political class lost its sense of decorum? There is this air that some of them can do anything and get away with it. And it has emboldened them. They are now unencumbered. How far would they go to distort the essence of the common good? So it reminds me of a subject I discussed in December, where I looked at devastation as a strategy of power. There, I talked about the book, The Prince. And if you talk about that book, you are talking about Machiavelli. He argues that devastation might ensure short-term control, but it ultimately destroys the potential for a prosperous state. In Nigeria, political arrogance, political deceit, systemic corruption, neglect of critical infrastructure, and stifling of innovation are similar to devastation. So in this show, we'll be looking at devastation in context, using history to explain it, using politics to explain it. So for this show, I'm going to focus on a book entitled A Journey in Service, an autobiography, a book written by a former Nigerian head of state, Ibrahim Babangida. I'm going to read from the book, and we are going to explain. Because reading from the book, we explain the strategy of devastation. Devastate the people, engage them with poverty, sometimes create new stories for them so that they are busy analyzing the stories while the political class continue to entrench themselves. Okay. When states newly acquired have been accustomed to living freely under their own laws, there are three ways to hold them securely. One is by devastating them. That number one forms part of this class. So when we say devastating the polity, what does that mean? Perhaps Femi Aborishade has something to say.
John,
The military
because,
is not
for
in
example,
charge, Rivers. The military is not in
the
charge.
military is in charge. A retired military officer is in charge. A retired military officer is in charge, dictating and making laws. For example, the pronouncement suspending the political appointees, including governing councils of government-owned institutions, including the State Electoral Commission. You know, these are laws being pronounced and being enforced by an individual That is dictatorship. That is totalitarianism. That is not allowed under a written constitution.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
I do know that quite a lot of people are concerned about the moral standing of the Nigerian community, of the Nigerian society. There's no morality, because morality has been devalued, debased, especially by those who have power, the leadership. That's just the point.
So you heard the voices of Femi Aborishade and Professor Ademola Araoye. They have put the devaluation of our democracy in context. Araoye calls it the decomposition of the Nigerian state. And it is intensely being pursued by the political class. We have reached a point where elections are rigged with reckless abandon. The system has become a rigged system. Femi Aborishade comes in again to hit the nail on the head.